I'm with Dan, and we're at the hardware setup stage, and we're at the process where we're looking at bulk upload and link via Postman to BoHub, and also then the assets need assigned to Cubo stock. So I'm going to pass you over to Dan, who can take us through the process.
Today, so like you say, Owen, the first kind of stage of this then is the Postman bulk upload into the BoHub system there. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a blank Excel spreadsheet there. So this is going to be the spreadsheet that we're going to manipulate and put our data into. And the first protocol on this spreadsheet is to highlight the entire spreadsheet itself, give it a right click, and go to our Format Cells option. And we're going to format the whole book to text, and we'll apply this. So that's our Excel spreadsheet ready to be manipulated. And as I say, we need to then go into a certain folder, which would be under our NIBC group and development, into Postman, into BoHub, and then we're going to pick a previously uploaded one just to pull the headers off. So this is one that myself and Gary went through for a test. And as I say, when this opens, the only thing that we're going to be pulling is going to be the headers. And the reason that we copy it from a previous document is to make sure that it's all accurate and that we're not uploading anything with spaces that could cause an issue further down the line. So if I copy those headers, and I'll go back into our blank Excel spreadsheet.
And Dan, can I also ask that changing the format to text, what's the thinking behind that? If you didn't do that, it wouldn't...
Changing to text, basically when we upload an IMEI that has a 0 in the front of it, it'll drop the 0, and then it doesn't upload the 11 digits, it only uploads 10, and it'll cause issues then with the tracking unit not actually reporting in then. So we'll get these and we'll just expand these out. So the other sheet that we're going to copy these details from would be our Cubo stock management sheet, which I'll pull up here. And we're just looking to pre-populate these fields. So the first field I'll pull, we're going to do an example of 6 here, is going to be our stock ID and registrations. So I'll copy these up, translate these into the registration field. So this will upload the registrations as our IDs onto the system. I then want to pull the IMEI, which will be these digits here from the stock list, and I'll translate them onto this. The next field is the serial number, also known as the ESN number. So this is a slightly smaller serial number, and we'll paste it into this field. And the last one that we need to pull then is obviously the SIM number associated to the unit itself, and we'll apply it into this field. So from here, as I say, the next thing we need to do is to highlight the cells, and we need to format these themselves. So with this, we're going to apply basically a custom format, if you like. I'm just going to pull this custom formula from a previous document there. I copy this. And again, ensure no spaces in the formula because spaces can be a no-no. If I right click on the highlighted cells, and we'll format these cells, and we're dropping down to custom. And it's as simple as pasting in that custom formula into this, again, making sure there's any spaces, and clicking OK. So you'll see then what this has done is put quotation marks on either side of all the details entered there. What we need to do is save this into the same location that we pulled the previous header details from. So I'm going to save as, and I'm going to browse my PC. And if I scroll down, then this will be on the NIBC group and development, under Postman, under BoHub, and I'm going to change this then. So we typically, if we're uploading it, we'll put the month and the type of unit that we're uploading. So if I go for November, TTU, and upload. So just to allow us what the unit was, the month it was done, and that the upload was complete. And the file type that we save this as is just a normal CSV or comment eliminated file. So I'll click that and I'll save her up. So that's the last amendment we need to do basically to the Excel spreadsheet. So we can exit out of this as long as it's saved in the right location there. And the next thing we need to do is basically open this same file. So let me just refresh this if it's came through. We are there. So there's our file that we've saved in our file path. If I right click this and open with, we need to basically open this with a notepad document. And as you see, when the notepad's opened there, all the things that previously had 2 quotation marks now have 3 on the either side. So what we need to do is basically Control H, find and replace. And we replace this 3 quotation marks back to 1 quotation mark. So
Okay,
we'll
and
go
by
and
default,
replace all.
that comes up like that, 3 and 1, or do
Yeah,
you tend to have to
unfortunately,
put that in?
yeah, the formatting doesn't seem to work once directly saved from Excel. So you need to
Okay.
manipulate it in this document to basically correct the formatting on the previous document. So if we were to open this on Excel, it would have 3 quotation marks again. So this is why we do the amendments just on the notepad itself. So if I replace all, and as I say, everything that had 3 is now went down to 1 quotation mark. And then just a Control S or File and Save. And we can make sure that this is saved to the original document. And we can exit out of the notepad itself then. So that's everything done in the terms of putting it on the Excel and manipulating it the way we need it to be for Postman to run this script. So I can exit out of my file path now, and the only thing I need to open would be the Postman application. So if I search for Postman and open this, this will display how it looks on Postman on the front end. So I can exit out of the overview because it's not needed. And the list along the left-hand side will give you options of predetermined scripts to basically run through what we need it to. So in this instance, the type of calendar that we're uploading is a TTU. So if I take this and drag it across into the middle, this will show me, oh, apologies, I missed a step there, Owen, so it's good to capture. We actually go into File and into New Runner tab. So this will give us the option then to drag and drop what we need. So again, this is a TTU that we're doing. So I'm going to drag and drop this into the middle of the screen. And this will show us the 3 basically tasks the Postman is going to do for us. So it's going to create the tracking unit itself, which would be that IMEI. It's going to create the tracking asset, which is actually named as our stock registration. And then it's going to link both these together on our BOHub system. So there's a few things you need to do in preparation for getting this ready. When we drop down to advanced settings, there'll be ticked already the keep variable values and the save cookies. The other thing we need to tick is save responses. And this is in the event that anything goes wrong, the responses will come back to give us an error message to help narrow down basically where we went wrong in the upload. So now that we have these ticked and we have our new runner tab with all the fields that are going to be ran, we just need to select the file that we're going to run. So this is the Excel spreadsheet that we had created earlier. So if we go into our NIBC group development, into our Postman tab and into BOHub, and drop down from custom files to all files. This will display everything that we've saved up. So our one was November TTU upload. So I'll double click it. So we'll see at the top, once I've uploaded the file itself, the iterations is showing how many tasks this needs to run. So it was 6 units that we've copied. So it's going to run through a task of 6 for us there. So now we've got everything ready to go and we've got our iterations ready. The next step is to basically run our BOHub create tracking unit. So this is going to run through the script via Postman for us. As you can see there, it doesn't take very much time at all, especially when we're only doing 6 examples. But as a sense check, I like to just scroll through and we can see that it's done each iteration. And on each iteration, it's went through, created our tracking unit, created the asset to link it to, and it's linked both together for us. So that's everything done on the Postman side of things. The next sort of step we like to do is to give ourselves a sense check just on our back office system to make sure that this actually completed its task. So if I copy the first stock ID that we had there and navigate to our BOHub system, what I'm looking for is under Asset Management and the Asset tab. And if I drop down the search function, what I'm searching is the registration. This is also known as our stock ID after our upload. So if I click search on this, you can see it's created the registration. And if I go back and see what registration that was associated to in terms of the IMEI, it ends in 290. I just want to double check that it's actually created that IMEI as well. And the fact that we're seeing both together on this screen shows that it's linked together. But another sort of sense check would be click the link asset button, go into our tracking unit field and paste the tracking unit in and filter. You can see here, because it has the unlinked function, that it's already been linked via Postman and it's linked to the correct stock asset, which is the 4G TTU 495. And this, as you can see, matches what we have on the stock list. So now that we've done the sense check, then basically what we need to do is allocate these units to the correct stock location so we can double check that this reflects on our tracking portal. So if I take the TTU 495 and close out of this field, What I'm looking to go into is asset management and assign asset. This will bring up a screen in which we can allocate to certain groups. So on this would be our Cubo stock demo. And the type of unit that we've uploaded is a TTU. So I'll right click on the Cubo TTU field and I'll go to assign asset. With this, as I say, we can either do it in bulk, but for the demo purposes, I'll paste in the one. And we want to show unassigned vehicles because this has never been assigned to a group. So we untick the checkbox and you'll see here is our 4G 495. If I click it and go to the assign field, you'll see it now comes up that the asset was assigned. So this is me now assigning it to a group, but this is on the back office of our portal. So what we need to do then is go to my Cubo portal. And if I take it back to where you would be on the login, so this is the main tracking portal. What I want to do is plus out that subgroup and I want to go to Cubo TTU. And all I'm doing is another sense check just to make sure that the one I've assigned to the group is actually displaying on the front end of the portal. So it doesn't seem to be showing through here. What I might do is give it a refresh just in case it's timed out on the front portal there.
Okay.
Wait for it to load. I'll go to search and I'll paste in our registration. So it was just due to a timeout, so a quick refresh just came through. And as long as it's showing on this portal, we're happy enough that it's then allocated. The only reason we're not getting information through is purely because the device hasn't been installed or powered up on the test bench, but we're happy enough in terms of a sense check that this has actually been allocated and created and is now displaying on the front end of our portal.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dan. I'm going to stop recording here.